Sometimes the hardest part after a breakup isn't the silence. It's the voice inside your own mind, the one that whispers, "She's never coming back." And when that thought takes hold, it doesn't just hurt. It shifts something deeper. It changes your energy, your decisions, your sense of hope. And slowly, almost without realizing it, you start to give up. Not just on her, but on yourself. I got a message the other day. Someone asked, "What should I do if I truly believe my ex will never come back? Should I just stop?" It hit me because that's a question so many people feel, but never say out loud. That fear, that it's already over, that there's no point in trying, that even if we did change, it still wouldn't matter. But listen to me now, belief is not just hope, it's the foundation of presence. It's the energy people feel when you walk into a room. If you don't believe your life has shifted, if you don't believe you're capable of drawing her back, not through begging, not through chasing, but through evolution, she's going to feel that. Attraction begins long before the text. It starts in your certainty, in the way you move, in the way you breathe, in your silence. Today, our goal isn't just to reconnect with someone who walked away, it's to move forward in such a powerful way that you never look back and wonder, what if I had just believed in myself? That's why I'm making this video, to share 3 powerful tips to make her see your value and feel compelled to chase it, not through manipulation, not through games, but through real inner transformation, the kind she can't ignore. If this speaks to where you are right now, take a moment, like this video, subscribe to Stoic Station. You don't need to force anything, just align with the man you were meant to become, and let the rest unfold. Now let's dive in. Tip number 1, change your mindset. Stop putting them on a pedestal, start placing yourself there. One of the most dangerous beliefs a man can hold after a breakup is this: she's never coming back. Not because it's grounded in truth, but because it's rooted in fear. In that aching space between loss and uncertainty, many men lose sight of who they were before the relationship. They begin to define their value through the lens of absence, and that's when they unknowingly hand over all their power. But let me ask you a harder, more important question, one most men avoid. If nothing changes in the way you're thinking, are you prepared to live with the quiet voice that whispers months from now, "What if I had believed in myself?" That question doesn't just sting, it lingers, it haunts. This is the moment where regret begins or ends, right here, not when she calls, not when she comes back, but now, when you choose how you show up in your own life. Here's what no one tells you. Most men who fail to rebuild a connection with their ex didn't fail because they weren't attractive or strong or worthy. They failed because they never changed their internal narrative. They kept replaying a story that said she had all the power, and they had none. If you don't change your mindset, you will have regret. What if I had believed in my situation? What if I had given myself the best chance? This isn't about inflating your ego or pretending you're fine when you're not. It's about quiet strength, the kind that doesn't chase validation because it doesn't need it. It's about remembering that you have always had value even when she forgot, especially when you did. There's a subtle but powerful shift that happens the moment you stop putting her on a pedestal and start placing yourself there instead. You begin to realize that love isn't something you earn through chasing or proving. It's something that flows to you when you stand tall in who you are, with or without her. And ironically, it's that mindset, the one that doesn't need her back, that often draws her in. Not because you manipulated anything, but because the energy of self-respect is magnetic, and in a world full of men pleading for attention, the one who's focused on rebuilding himself stands out like a flame in the dark. You're not here to prove your worth, you're here to live it. So start now. Reclaim the internal authority you once gave away. Let your mindset become your anchor, not just to survive this chapter, but to rewrite it. And if you're unsure where to begin, ask yourself this one question every morning. What would a man of value do right now? Then act accordingly, every day, relentlessly, without apology. Because you are that man, and it's time to act like it. Tip number 2. Trigger the fear of losing you. That's what makes them come back. There's something about human nature that we often overlook in relationships. We don't value what we think we have forever. We value what we feel is slipping away. That's why so many men get stuck in a painful cycle after a breakup, because they remain emotionally accessible long after she's walked away. You're still watching her stories, still texting her, still hoping, still emotionally available. And that tells her one thing: she's still in control. The hardest pill to swallow is this: your ex doesn't think she lost you. Not really. Not when you're still orbiting her, still responding to every breadcrumb of attention, still making her feel like she can have you if and when she wants. In her mind, your love is still hers. She still owns it. But this is where psychology opens the door to truth. In his renowned book Persuasion, Robert Cialdini explains a fundamental principle of influence. Human beings are wired to fear losing what they already believe they possess. It's not the loss itself that causes panic. It's the realization that what we assumed was ours may no longer be. That principle drives human behavior more than logic, more than desire, more than almost anything else. And this is exactly why she starts to feel something shift. Not when you beg, not when you explain, not when you try to make her remember what you had, but when your silence replaces your presence, when your focus turns inward, when your energy no longer says, "I need you," but instead, "I remember who I am." That's the paradox. Your ex thinks they own your love until you stop chasing. The moment you stop chasing is the moment attraction is reborn. This isn't manipulation, this is balance being restored. Because when one person is constantly giving and the other is constantly withdrawing, the emotional dynamic becomes toxic. But when you reclaim your attention, your peace, your direction, that's when the imbalance breaks. And here's the truth most men don't want to face. If you're scared to lose them forever, that's exactly why you will. Fear always leaks through. It shows in the tone of your voice, in the timing of your texts, in the way you show up hoping to be seen instead of standing to be respected. And that fear, whether conscious or not, makes you smaller in her eyes. But strength, real, grounded strength, speaks in silence. It speaks in absence. It speaks when you're no longer trying to be heard. So here's what you do. Not as a tactic, not to manipulate, but to reset. You go completely silent for 10 days. No reaching out, no checking in, no just thinking of you texts. You take those 10 days and you build something. You start a new workout. You wake up earlier. You do the thing you've been putting off. You start creating motion in your own life, motion that has nothing to do with her. You let her feel your absence not as punishment, but as proof that you are no longer chasing. Because when a woman starts to feel she's losing something she thought was hers, when she sees a man she once knew becoming someone stronger, more grounded, more self-contained, that's when her mind begins to shift. That's when she begins to question. That's when she starts to chase. And if she does reach out, let it be because she senses your transformation, not because she senses your need. Your silence is not the end of the story. It's the start of a new chapter. One where your worth isn't something you wait to be seen. It's something you already know. Tip number 3, don't talk about the past. Become the version she'd be afraid to lose. When most men try to win their ex back, they make the same mistake. They reach into the past hoping to rewrite it. They bring up old conversations. They revisit painful memories. They apologize again and again, as if repeating their regret will somehow erase what happened. But it doesn't work. It never does. Because every time you speak about the past, you anchor her to the very version of you she decided to walk away from. You remind her why she left. You reinforce the image of the man who hurt her, or bored her, or simply stopped growing. And in doing so, you unknowingly make it harder for her to see you as someone new. They don't come back for the old you. They come back for the new version. You don't rebuild a broken connection by rehashing the wreckage. You rebuild it by rising, by becoming someone so evolved, so alive, so undeniably magnetic that it forces her to pause and ask herself, "Did I misjudge him?" That's why the past is not your ally here. It's your weight. And every time you bring it into the present, you carry that weight forward into something that should have been fresh, clean, unexpected. Don't apologize. Don't talk about the past. That's where people fail. Growth is silent at first. It doesn't need an audience. It just needs your commitment. It starts with the way you carry yourself when no one's watching. The way you move through your day without needing her attention to feel grounded. The way you show up in the world, not because you want her to notice, but because you've remembered how to belong to yourself. And that's what changes everything. Let her encounter a version of you that surprises her. Let her see the calm in your eyes where there used to be urgency. Let her feel the confidence in your silence where there used to be noise. Let her see a man who no longer needs to be forgiven because he's no longer living in the shadow of who he was. Your ex has a lot to lose, and she will realize it very soon, because finding real connection, genuine, grounded, intimate connection, is rare. The fairy tale fades quickly, especially when it's built on surface-level attraction. But the man who stands tall after heartbreak, the man who transforms without bitterness, who leads himself without needing approval, that man becomes unforgettable. So stop talking about what happened. Start showing her who you've become, and not just her, show the world. Let your evolution be seen in your actions, not your words. A stronger body, a clearer mind, a life filled with purpose and momentum, not a reaction to being left, but a return to who you were always capable of becoming. Do something radically out of character this week. Sign up for that class you always thought about. Launch that business idea. Take the trip you've been putting off, and don't do it to make her jealous. Do it because this is who you are now. Let her bump into your life and be stunned. Let her wonder how she ever thought she could replace a man like that. And when she begins to feel that she's no longer looking at the man she left, but the man she now fears losing, that's when everything changes. Summary. Let's be honest, not just clear. You're not here to chase shadows, wait for signs, or exhaust yourself playing emotional chess. You're not here to rehearse apologies or wonder what might have happened if you'd just said the perfect thing. You're here for something much more powerful. You're here to rise. This journey isn't about proving your worth to her. It's about rediscovering it for yourself. Because when a man remembers who he is, when he stops needing to be chosen and starts choosing his own evolution, something shifts. Quietly, deeply, unmistakably. That shift is what makes her stop in her tracks. It's what makes her rethink what she thought she understood about you. Because now, you're not the man who was left behind. You're the man she never really saw clearly until you became undeniable. Let's have zero regrets. Not only can you get your ex back, you can make her want you again for the right reasons. Not out of nostalgia, not out of guilt, but because the man you are now is a version of you she never expected. So take the first step, not toward her, but toward the man you were always meant to be. Let your life speak for itself. Let your presence replace your words. And when she finally sees you again, let her feel the weight of what she walked away from. Not because you needed her, but because you no longer need to chase her. So let's make a promise to ourselves right now. No more second-guessing, no more shrinking to fit into a version of the past that no longer serves you. This is your time to step forward with quiet confidence and unwavering self-respect. When you commit to that path, everything changes, even the way she sees you. If this message spoke to something real inside you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Stoic Station. That simple action helps keep this space alive for men who are rebuilding, not just relationships, but themselves. And whatever happens next, stay grounded, stay calm, stay true to who you are becoming. She'll either come back and realize what she lost, or you'll keep walking forward and realize you didn't need her to begin with. Take care of your mind, protect your energy. I'll see you soon.